from the Lord. So I'm depending on the Lord.
Is that the message to the team?
Day by day, one play at a time. That's the message.
One2Gration, a new place for you to explore it.
Yeah.
The algorithm exporting what is important. TechP, a portion in accordance, but it's all anointed. We welcome you to come get a portion.
Join us.
No more everyday Bron versus Jordan.
Nah.
Jamin said the victory comes from the Lord, but we still prepare the horses.
Yeah.
It's the podcast day, but we got more horsepower than Ralph Lauren. They go live and talk reckless, no reporting. I go live and talk facts, but they want to report me. But that won't stop the context, the complex on my conscience for the record, so I will press record. My story and his story, we so historic. Silver spoon from above, you mad about euphoric. We talk ball, talk bars, talk all. They talk clown, talk down, talk foul, no call. I am one, they tantrum, TechP, tech please. No referees, but the reference is reverence. So I guess then I earn my stripes and just treat me like the whistle. Stop and listen, it's a new episode to witness. The horses lined up like they competing for the Kentucky Derby. 30 for 30 high like the rappers where you see the jersey.
We don't see your jersey.
Come holler at me.
Yo, 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 yo. This is TechP. What's the what? I am TechP. And today I am excited to be with you. We are getting, what's the word? I would say more acclimated to being back in this seat in the various channels that we will be discussing with you guys and sharing kind of what this all means and what the strategy is going forward. Today on this episode, I have prepared to share a bit of content around my wings, my crown, and my mask that I use in my art. And then I also want to talk about those chosen of you out there that have been selected, handpicked, I believe, handpicked, maybe, I don't know, to via social media to follow our new leaders, our new vice president. I know I was personally hand selected and just so happened to notice this, and I would have to wonder why I was able to see this so clearly inside of social media. So we'll talk a bit about that. And then we'll transition into One2Gration today and the relevance of and the role that plays to thriving in the algorithm. And so we would love for you guys to engage. If there's anything that you want us to adjust or whatever the case is, all feedback's welcome. Also, too, the community of One2Gration is open. And so you can visit and learn more about that at www.one2gration.com. And you can see all of our business services. You can also see the different packages within the community and what it's all about. But before we get started, I do want to start things off with sharing a piece in the collection and then taking the conversation and talking about the art, the crown, and those types of things. So give me one moment. Let me bring that up. Hopefully this is all working out. So I'm going to refresh this.
No wings, no crown, a symbol of transition and rebirth. The last 2 days have been a swirl of creation and purpose. We've written truths, shared visions, and crafted an invitation, a beacon for those searching for their rhythm in a world bound by algorithms. But this morning, I woke up to find my mask, my wings, and my crown gone. At first, it felt like a loss. The wings, they symbolize the risen. The crown, a reminder of the sun. And the mask, my higher calling, a fusion of futuristic Black Panther and playful Pink Panther. The techpreneur for the people. But then I saw it clearly. This wasn't erasure, it was rebirth. Zuck's move didn't strip me of purpose. It revealed me, Jeffrey McKinney, standing bare but tall in truth and mission. no wings, no crown, no mask, just purpose, just truth. So what's a brother to do? From experience, I know the pain of being ignored, the silence of brothers and sisters who don't respond. That's a pain I refuse to inflict on anyone. So I responded the only way I know how, with words, with purpose, and with a message too big to silence. We've created more than words these past 2 days. We've solidified our plans. One2Gration Respocial Media, a platform to connect without manipulation. Stories of healing and transformation, turning victims into heroes. A space where isolation is shattered by the power of agapic energy. This transition is a new chapter. TechP, stripped bare, but more authentic than ever. The removal of symbols doesn't weaken the mission, it strengthens it. It reminds me, the work we do doesn't rely on crowns or wings. Our power isn't in the visuals, it's in the truth we speak, the solutions we offer, and the lives we're here to transform. This is what we've been sent to do. Build bridges where systems create divides. Empower those silenced by trauma and injustice. Offer truth in a world distracted by noise. No wings, no crown, but plenty of purpose. So the real question isn't, what's a brother to do? The question is, what will you do? Will you scroll past, lost in the noise? Or will you step into your rhythm and move with us toward truth and transformation? Your rhythm is waiting. The time is now. Let's move together.
So, art, healing, expression, these are all things that I feel most comfortable in myself when in that mode. And so that piece I created, it says 4 days ago. And I went to, during my time in the morning where I usually create, to make sure that I'm able to go through the day and thrive and be able to accomplish the goals ahead. Expression and art in the morning during is like therapeutic for me. And so when I went in, as an artist, you use the tools that you have. And so I've gotten into using Instagram to be able to create these visuals, and the wings and the crown and the mask have these symbols that, make the art mean something for me. Not sure what it means to anyone else, but for me, I know what it means and what it represents. And it's always been my plan to come back and have this type of conversation, to be able to correlate the necessity of expression to healing. And so was looking at Instagram, and Zuck took away my crown, my mask, and my wings. And so I chuckled and I laughed, and I was reminded of a conversation I had with my daughter when she once cried about Roblox or some little app or whatever changed, and she didn't like the new interface. And I told her, we don't cry over the changes in other people's systems, because we don't control those. We just, if you feel passionate about it enough, you just create your own. And so I remember those words I told her in that moment, but then I also went on to think about the symbolism of it. And so by no means is the Wing King, the Chevalier of Hell, the Tech Panther, Tech P not around anymore. It's just those particular tools are not there. And so that means what? That means that there's a new season, there's a new day, and I agree. And so I want to transition really quick into what is that new day. Let's check it out. 1 second here. So that is the intro to One2Gration Today, which will be, it'll start out as once a week, I think, a show where we bring on industry experts and our community members to have conversations about the challenges that they're facing, the community's facing, and how we're putting our heads together and leveraging our competence and our gifts and our purpose to reimagine or transmute or manifest a different future. And so one of the things that I do want to bring up, I talked about that selection. And so I'll show that really quick what I mean by that. So here we are. This is, let's just make sure this is social media here. This is Instagram. Everybody can see that. There it is, just refreshed. And so as we pop up here, we'll go over here and I'll check into my search. And I noticed yesterday morning that it was suggesting this VP Vice President JD Vance to me. And so I was like, that's weird. I've never seen that before. And so how did that account get to be so high? And, let me check it out. And I looked closer at it and I saw that there were people that were following it that I knew. And I was like, wow, let me check this out. Let's look at this. Maybe I'm missing out on something here. Let me check it out. So I clicked onto it. And, here's our Vice President JD Vance. That's true and that's factual. We have looks to be a pretty new profile, 4 posts. Wow, 16.1 million followers. And right now it says 103 of my friends are following it, which could be possible. I don't know. So I looked at it to see who was following it. And what I saw on mobile was, and I learned on mobile, was that not only was I following it, my other profile, but there was my wife. There was another person in our community that I called to say, hey, did you choose to follow this profile? And they said, no, I didn't choose to follow that profile. I said, well, you've been hand selected and picked. I don't know if that's a privilege. I've never been really handed anything or given the privilege of this sort. But what I can say is it's fair, and I'm very, very optimistic about the future. However, social media is it supposed to be able to hand select us or assign us followers? I also spoke with another friend about it, and he said that I spoke with him yesterday morning. He's in that follow list too. I just didn't want to scroll all the way through it. A lot of my friends are following that profile. And I spoke to him yesterday morning, and he wasn't in the group, but now, and it was at 9.4 million followers yesterday, and now it's at 16.1. And he has been selected to be one of the followers of Vice President JD Vance on social media and Instagram. I guess that's a privilege that maybe Zuck wanted to award 16.1 million people. I don't know. But these are just the facts and observations. And so, I know that when we look at a profile today and we see no followers, we form an opinion of that. And I know that when we look at a profile and we see a bunch of followers, we form an opinion of that. And so I'm not really sure if we can have any opinion of any of this other than this is very suspect and this is manipulative. Given that I don't know if those 16.1 million followers chose to follow this account. I know that I just reached out to the first 3 people on the list that I knew and nobody did. And so we get to choose if we want to live and support systems that do these types of things. It's not really hard. It's not we don't have to argue about it. We really don't. And so I just want to bring this to your attention because we'll be talking about things and bringing on psychiatrists, therapists, all types of professionals inside of the One2Gration show. And then we have another one called Respocial tomorrow, talking about how we take these types of things and build the solutions to make sure that, you know, while we have no control over this, we do have control over One2Gration and Respocial. And Respocial, as the trademark holder and the vessel, the person that gift was given to 3 years ago, I am so grateful to be Respocial and not social, especially when social can do whatever it's doing right now. I mean, I also saw an article, and I'll link it into the comments here, where it looks like there's some Meta's taking some heat because hashtag Democrat and those type of terms have vanished. They're no longer there. And so, you know, for me, I've always used a certain specific set of hashtags. And it was really because I wanted to be able to be clearly seen inside of an algorithm that has no intent on giving anybody that ability. But over time, I knew that if I leveraged this and I shared this, repeated, and actually expressed at the same time, now you can go and get a pretty clear picture of who Jeff McKinney is by clicking any one of those well, not just Jeff McKinney, but anything that I'm working on and I'm driving and I'm envisioning and I want to contribute to. I use those types of strategies to be able to show who I am. I think that's important, to be able to show your actions rather than the words. And so, you know, I had to take this approach after I was broken from I won't say broken, I was gifted or challenged or disabled, whichever word you want to use, with the trauma from the workplace. And so specifically Dell Technologies, an amazing, unbelievable story will come from this. And so we are making resources so that people can have access to the tools and solutions to be able to increase the probability of success in even challenging situations. And so that's what this is about. And part of that is to make sure that we properly help people understand what social media is and what it's not. And I just happen to have here on my desk a notebook. I don't know if you can read that, but it says "The Not Facebook." I wrote that on that notebook in 2011 because I saw the challenges that were in this situation. And I also saw that there was going to come a time when we were going to be able to see the character of the practitioner very, very clearly. I'm a technologist. At One2Gration, we focus on purpose over politics. And so JD Vance is our vice president. I wish him the best. Donald Trump is our president. Wish him the best. However, when we turn around and we focus on what we've been called to do and our purpose, that's what I'm here to talk about. And that's where I now draw the line and say, well, inside of this social media, I don't know. I really can't see. I mean, you can go check my track record at any of those hashtags, and you can see that I've been pretty consistent, and it's been pretty consistently quiet. And I think that is because, you know, what I do is uncomfortable for some, but I also think it's because the algorithm doesn't amplify my message. It has no intent, or it's not designed to. It's not designed for people to understand or join or be able to use this as a tool, unless some type of magic happens, or you know, for some it works. And so what I do understand is that somebody creates the algorithm, and the algorithm is so valuable right now. You saw, you know, all of these social media companies and their value is so valuable right now. That means that it must be successful for somebody. It's not for me and not many of you. And so I don't propose that we leave social media altogether. What I propose is that we join Respocial, and we understand that, okay, over here it's about purpose, and what we can do to deliver and contribute to a better place, a better workplace, a better world, whatever that may be. Or even from a business standpoint, which is a great segue. Let me go ahead and bring up, I want to show some of the work that we're doing through One2Gration. So give me 1 second here. So this is One2Gration.com. I'm specifically wanting to show, these are our community catalysts. That's a community CMO. There's an inspirational leader in our community, Yogesh Patel, and there's more folks. We'll get to introducing them at some other time. But right now, what I want to do is talk about our community hosts. And so really, really, really excited about what the opportunity is to partner with GW Sedberry. Some of you may have seen George around. He's just got a passion for serving others, and his story is one of transparency, and it's one that I believe it deserves a bigger platform and our support and amplification to make sure that GW accomplishes his goals, which primarily are centered around being able to provide funds and scholarships to students that want to attend the universities that have historically been known, or that have in the past been known as historically Black colleges or universities. I think, you know, we'll see some different terminologies coming out here soon, but yeah, I mean, that I'm not saying the term HBCU will die. I think there's going to be the rebirth of other terminologies that speak of these institutions and what they mean to humanity, not just here in the United States, but also in preserving the true history of how we all got here, and embracing the whole story. And so and George, by the way, is a phenomenal historian, and well embraced. And so we're looking forward, just got off the phone with him a moment ago. We're looking forward to working with George, and we got some exciting things coming. Reagan Jones, all-world volleyball striker, the Tennessee Slammer. She is going to be heading up a podcast for us that's about mental health and awareness, and really what it takes to check the box and be excellent in that area as a student athlete. And just when I tell you, she's a star in every way. And so we're really, really excited and happy to have her as one of our NIL hosts within One2Gration. Liberty Mora, talk about a young lady that has got it together. She places boundaries, sets expectations, and when it comes to performing at an All-American level, consider it done. Consider it done. And so she is going to be co-hosting the Unfiltered with Aaliyah and Liberty podcast. And here is Aaliyah. And Aaliyah is, I mean, she's just so, what's the right word? I think I just have to say cool. Like, everything is cool with Aaliyah. It's very relaxed. She knows what she wants. She's funny. I'm really looking forward to working with both of the young ladies, and also bringing their voices to the community, within our community, but also broadly as well. I believe, you know, when you look at what their work ethic, their behaviors, and their outcomes potentially could say to the youth of America and our communities, if given the opportunity to, I think that the possibilities are endless. And so we're very excited to have them inside of and a part of our team. And so if there's anyone out there that is interested in a young athlete or whatever differentiator you feel like you bring to be a part of a program like this, you can visit our website and click on this learn more, and then be able to fill out a form for us to schedule a conversation to discuss how we can support you as well. All right, so how and what do we do to be able to provide value back to and be able to bring these type of resources to the table? Give me 1 second here. It's really about just like every other business out there: marketing, services, business services, technology, and finance. And so, I don't want to get into all of these different things. We'll have testimonials and use cases. But what I will say is that if you are in need of building pipeline, growing, making sure your marketing strategy is together, making sure that you are able to stand out inside of a social media and world that is, I don't know if it's real or fake, but it's our job to make sure that we can be seen inside of that real or fake world, so that we can actually go out and accomplish our purpose, which, we've been sent inside of this world, no matter what the odds are, to actually succeed regardless. And so that's what this is envisioned to do, is to make sure that everyone has a set of tools to be able to deliver the goods. And so I feel really, really good about it. One2Gration, this has been this thing that over the years I've heard people say, well, what is One2Gration? Well, and I would say it's a lot. Well, it's about you. It's about what is in your heart and how we can support those desires. And so with that being said, I wrote down here, I said I wanted to make sure that I said this today. It says, chosen by social media. Do you want to be chosen by social media? Or would you like to choose what is best for you? Hashtag Respocial Media. And so what I mean by that is, inside of Respocial Media, and it popped up a minute ago, so let me just pull it up. Inside of Respocial Media, you get what you choose. And so we have all of these spaces over here on the left-hand panel. These spaces, oh, I did it again. Start demoing without adding it on. All right, cool, here we go. This is Respocial Media. This happens to be the O2G TV space, where community stories and Amplify excellence converge. Okay, well, what does that mean? These are stories from the community showing and highlighting those of us who are pursuing our desires. On the left-hand side over here, this is a set of spaces that, depending on the plan you have access to certain spaces. These Respocial spaces, I've shown these before. These are all about responsible social and making sure people have the right resources. And so my point in saying that and bringing this back up is to say, today, I'm not really sure what I'm getting inside of social media. And one thing that is an assumption is that everybody will always stay static on that social platform. And I would also say there's also a pursuit to acquire other social platforms so that it can stay static and get in line with the other platforms. And so with that being said, that's social media. This is Respocial Media. You get to choose. I am TechP, Jeff McKinney, the CEO and founder of One2Gration. It's been real. Until next time, peace.
Another one. They thought I was done. Yeah, they hysterical. They should do a stand-up show. And I can let it go, but I'd rather let them know. Podcastable, a podcast stable. Yeah.
So